Hello, everybody. This is Pastor Becky, and I am ready to give you guys a wonderful message from the road on my trip. It's going to be a little shaky, I guess, here in this situation. We got a few minutes. The reason that this is live instead of pre-recorded, like I thought it would be, is because we didn't get to where we could stop and have decent service to upload and to actually also do the video itself until right around the time we would go live. So you're going to get a live message from me tonight. And of course, I'll send it, I'll post it again. I didn't post last week's, and I'm so sorry. So I'm going to wait a minute more, and we'll go from there. I'm hoping you can hear me well right here, so I can use both my hands. We've been traveling all day, so I don't have any makeup on. So just go with it. Just a minute. I don't know that anybody is going to come watch, but we'll see what we can do. It's almost 6 Oklahoma time. It is almost 5 Colorado time. That's where I happen to be right now. My eyes are a little dry. Everything's getting a little dry. All right, hold on. Here we go. Just a minute. La 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 la. La 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 la. Oh my my. Dun, 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 dun. All right. Hey. All right, we're gonna pause it a sec. Center. Hi, everybody. It is your friendly neighborhood Pastor Becky coming at you live, actually live from the road. Chrissy and I have made it to Lyman. We're at the Flying J Travel Plaza in Lyman, and we have stopped to take some time. We were just going to record the video here, but turns out instead we're going to actually make the video here and broadcast it live at the same time. Of course, like always, I'll repost it later. I am so sorry I didn't post last week's. It was a crazy week getting ready for the vacation, and it just happened that way. Now, Chrissy's running inside. She had to go to the bathroom. So did I. She's running inside. She'll come back out in just a minute here. But I wanted to go ahead and get started because it is 6 o'clock Oklahoma time, 5 o'clock here in Colorado, and we are super excited. So, first of all, I just wanted to tell everybody welcome. And second, I want to tell you a little bit about what we're doing. We are on vacation. As you all know, I love to vacation in Colorado for many, many reasons. One, it's where we went every summer for 2 weeks, all of my life growing up. 2, I used to live in Denver, Colorado for about 7 years. 3, I have tons of family here. But 4, I love it because I love the trip to get there. I love the drive. I love road trips. I love trips in general. I love to travel, to get everything together, to just have a good time, and to get away and go experience something that's out of my ordinary, something new, or in this case, I've done a lot of this stuff before, but it's out of my everyday world. Oklahoma, we don't necessarily have these big Rocky Mountain things. Anyways, I love to do that. I love to put everything together, get ready, and Chrissy and I are so excited. So for me, I go to Colorado. I know all this stuff. Well, Chrissy's never been to Colorado, and I'm so excited to introduce her to these things that have great meaning to me, that have a lot of spiritual and emotional and just memories to me. Which, by the way, she's now getting back in the car with my cup of ice. We also have changed drivers at this point. And so, Chrissy, say hi to the Facebook world.
Hello, Facebook world.
So, Chrissy and I are on our way. I was sitting there for forever, and the seat is laid back a bit for me. She's got to get it situated.
Yeah.
So, but anyways, she and I both, we love car trips. We love road trips where we can just explore. She loves to drive. I love to ride now, but I also don't mind the driving part. And part of the fun is just seeing what you get to see along the way. Now, on the way to Colorado, particularly for me, I love taking the time along I-70. Chrissy laughs at me for this, but I have a lot of reasons why. I love driving. Particularly, I don't mind driving through I-35 and 412 in Oklahoma, but I-70. When we get on I-70 and we're going west towards the mountains, and you can just see forever, as far as you possibly can see. For me, it's a centering time. And as we've spent a lot of time in these sessions talking about centering ourselves on God and being still and knowing that He is God. Well, when I am on the road, when I am on I-70 going straight due west to Colorado, to my favorite adventure zone, when I'm heading that way, my heart and my soul begins to prepare itself for that, and it begins to center itself. And as I'm looking out across the vast high plains and I'm just able to see forever, I begin to reflect on life. I begin to reflect on ministry and on who I am and who God's called me to be and what God has for me in this life. But I also think about and reflect and pray through the things that I've been wrestling with. And I just kind of walk, I as I'm driving along, I'm just walking myself through my journey and through my spiritual journey and where I'm at and so forth. And when you're riding with somebody, AKA Chrissy over here, you get to share some of that with them. And we've had some wonderful talks as we've been driving. And so no matter where I go, no matter what kind of trip, I love to be able to reflect on that. But I particularly love that on this trip. And when I think about it, when I think about this journey and the I-70 and the straight line and the looking at it all, I begin to think about the process that I go to. It begins to relate to me kind of like the story of the road to Emmaus in the Gospel of Luke. It is after Christ has been resurrected from the dead, and he's appeared to the disciples and some other people and all that all along the way. And there's these two guys who have heard all of this story and about his reappearance, about his resurrection. And these two guys are walking on the road to a town called Emmaus. And as they're on the road, they're talking about it, and they're like, they're clearly followers of Christ. They're clearly two people who have been there with him through the whole journey, and they're just saying that they're not sure what to believe, and they're trying to process it all, and they're talking about it, and they're talking about, well, what does it mean? What he taught us? How do we live now? Did he really resurrect? We haven't seen him yet. We don't know if that's true. All those type things like that. They're wrestling through that, and they're just, like I said, reflecting on what does God have for them now? As they walk along, a third person comes up and begins to walk with them and ask them what they're talking about, and starts asking them as they tell them, well, we're followers of Jesus, and we're trying to understand what's going on here, and is he really resurrected? They begin to process with this third person, and he begins to talk to them about Christ as well. And eventually they get to where they're going, and they say, hey, do you have a place to stay? And they really had enjoyed the time with him and the conversations. And he says, no. And they're like, well, come have dinner with us and let's work it through. And they go and they sit down and they have dinner. And when he begins to break the bread and say a prayer over dinner for them, they realize that he is Christ. And they begin to see, oh, there is our Lord. He's been with us this whole time. Even when we are not 100% certain, he was right there with us and walking with us and helping us process and helping us understand and sharing his part of the story. And they began to fill with joy and hope and life, and their hearts were warmed with full of love, because they knew they were there in the midst of Christ, even when they weren't sure. Now, I think for a lot of us, we don't need to be on the road to think about this. For me, that symbolism of being on the road on my way to Colorado, it really nails that for me. But for all of us in our own lives, when we reflect back through it, we can see those moments in which Christ was there. And we can also see those moments in which we were really confused and unsure what was happening, and wonder, where is Christ? Is God real? Is he there? And, for some of us, maybe our lives have been these straight lines through the through the fields and through cornfields in Kansas. They're just straight. For others of us, maybe our life has been a really messed up road full of potholes and struggles and just not easy to travel. For others, maybe it's been an uphill climb. You've been crawling up through the mountains and it's been difficult and struggles. And for probably all of us, it's a combination of all of those type roads. As we go down that road and we reflect, the road that we live, that we journey in our life is just like the road to Emmaus. And we're going to be wrestling with and processing and struggling and figuring out, okay, God, where is this? Okay, God, who is this? I don't understand this part going on. I don't understand why that happened. I don't understand why my friend had to die, or why my relationship ended, or I'm not sure I understand why my child has come out and told me that they're gay, or I'm struggling with all these different things and we're trying to process it. Or maybe we're just saying, God, I don't understand why there is so much anger or hatred going on in the world. Or maybe it might be something where you're like, God, I really had a beautiful epiphany the other day. Help me deepen that. Help me understand deeper, after that experience of love, what it means to really extend that love. The way that person cared for me, how does it impact my life? And as we're going through that journey, figuring all these things out, there are people who come along and help us process that. Friends, loved ones, therapists, pastors, teachers, mentors, all sorts of people who come along and help us process and share that journey with us. And in the midst of their partnering with us and helping us understand and share that journey, along comes Christ. And along the way, they can begin to point out to us, hey, do you see? This is where Christ was with us the whole time. This is how he was walking along the journey with us. And we begin to hear and feel, and there's this point at which we just realize, oh, that was God in the middle of it all. That was God walking with us. So here's what I ask you. Here's the challenge I give to you for this coming week. Pray every day and just spend some time reflecting on your journey. And ask yourself these 4 questions. What kind of road are you on right now? Is it smooth sailing? Everything's where you need it to be at this point in your life? Or is it rocky, full of potholes, something you're struggling to get through? And as you continue down that road and you're thinking it through, ask yourself, who's with me in this journey? Who's my partner? Who are my partners, my team along this way? As I've talked to you about in my worst hard time, this very difficult road I had to trod, it was my family and my best friends that carried me through, as well as my therapist. Who are the people that you journey with? And next, where do you see Christ in the journey? Where is Christ walking with you? And are you looking back and going, oh, I see you. I feel you. I hear you. I realize you're there. I realize you're helping me through this. So what kind of life journey? What kind of road is your life right now? Who is walking with you? Where is Christ in all that? And last, take some time to reflect on this and be a part of that reflection and sharing that journey, at least for 5 minutes a day, where you just center yourself and get quiet and spend some time thinking about it. If you don't feel like you have somebody sharing the journey, send me a message and I will walk with you. The Holy Spirit is with you. God is sharing the journey He's called you to great things. He's building up holy, heavenly things within you and around you. There are people who love you unconditionally and who are going to walk with you no matter what. And even if you feel like you are in your worst hard time or in the best time of your life, you are not alone. We love you. We are grateful for you. I'm so thankful that some of you have been watching. I can't do as long as I usually do, so I'm going to sign us off because I've got to head us on into Denver. We will send you we'll do this again next week. We'll still be on the road, but we'll do it again next week and kind of tell you about the trip and continue this. This is a 2-week message on the road. After that, we're going to do a series on living the Christ style. May the Lord bless you and keep you and make his face to shine upon you and be gracious unto you. May the Lord lift up his countenance upon you and be gracious unto you and give you peace or something like that. I don't remember it all. Anyways. Whatever. Say goodbye, Chrissy.
Goodbye, Chrissy.
We love you. Mwah! Bye.